Man, Mase is doing one serious jail pose on his album cover. That's the type of shit that you get in the mail from one of your friends or family members while they're serving some time. What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. And welcome to another episode of The Archives, where we take a look at classic albums and albums from the past. On this episode, we're going to be taking a look at Mase's debut from 1997, Harlem World, and this one holds a very special place in my heart because I used to kill this damn album back in junior high. Now, of course, these days, Mase is the punchline for a lot of jokes for a lot of various reasons, but his signature drowsy flow, the production on here, as well as the great features, make this album a classic if you ask me. And who can forget those shiny suits and ski goggles at the time? That was the shit back in the day. Now, the lead single, Feel So Good, sampled the Kool and the Gang song Hollywood Swingin', and you can still put this one on at the club or at a party and get people bopping, because it just has a really feel-good vibe to it. And the same thing can be said about the song Love You So, which makes use of a sample from Square Biz. Now, I remember that song being one of my personal favorites when this album first came out, but now that I'm a little bit older and I'm looking at the other songs on here, I realize that I like a lot of other tracks better than Love You So, and it's actually a little bit of a cheesy song. Another one of the popular singles on this album was Lookin' At Me, and this one had some production from the Neptunes, and I think it's cool to see how different their style, or Pharrell's style, has gotten over the years, because they've really evolved and come a long way. This is that basic Neptune sound. Like, I'm talking about back when they were making shit for Noriega like Super Thug and Oh No. I'm not saying basic as in bad, but you know what I mean if you heard these beats. They're just not quite as deep as the production that Pharrell and the Neptunes make these days. This track is all about the haters who have staring problems, and in the third verse, Mase tells the story of cheating on his girl with another girl at the Greek Fest, and she's trying to get at him by saying, "Mase, don't you know that I'm the girl who wears no panties?" But Mase is such a player that he's like, "Girls tell me they wear no panties all the time, so that shit doesn't impress me." Mase also brings up how he used to go by Murder Mase when he was in the group Children of the Corn with Big L and Cameron, but he dropped the murder from his name in order to get pretty and make money with P. Diddy. And speaking of Mase being a playa, the song The Play Away is still one of my favorite all-time tracks from this album. It just has that pimptastic southern swang to it, and it features some great verses from 8-Ball and MJG. Not to mention that the hook on this song is still damn catchy, and it still has me kicking up dust in my polo boots, and I've never even owned a pair of those, so figure it out for yourself. And Mase also brought some street tracks on this album, which I think surprised a lot of people who only knew him for his poppier, radio-friendly tracks. The song 24 Hours to Live became a single, and this one featured great verses from Black Rob, The Lox, and DMX, and it had some really nice string production on it as well. The whole topic of what every rapper would do if they had 24 hours left to live made this song memorable, and DMX's verse is especially memorable because of that raw, angry energy that he brings to the track. And speaking of DMX, you might notice that the song on here, called Will They Die For You, featuring Puffy and Lil' Kim, sounds an awful lot like DMX's track, Get At Me Dog. The beats are almost identical. Another one of the street tracks is Niggas Wanna Act, where Dame Grease brought his usual dark production style, and Mase warns people that he can get hard when he wants to. I just always like the beat on this one because it has a really urgent feel to it, and it also features Busta Rhymes, but all he does on this song is the hook, and you're not going to get a verse from him here. And that same sort of thing happens on the song Take What's Yours, because it features DMX, but he doesn't drop a verse, he just does the hook. I really like Take What's Yours a lot because of that classic sample-based production it has going on. And on this one, Mase is just spitting some thuggy bars, like when he says he's a criminal who keeps his gat tucked by his genitals. And it's not often that you hear rappers rhyme genitals, so good job, Mase. You get the genitals sticker in your sticker book. Now, Mase had some other great features on this album as well. Cheat on You had some smooth piano production from Jermaine Dupri and a hook from 112, and it also featured a forgettable verse from Lil Cease, if you ask me. But luckily, Jay-Z cleaned the song up with his effortless flow that he usually brings, and this is one of my favorite songs on the album. And there are some other relationships-based tracks on this album as well. There's the simp single, What You Want, featuring Total. And then there's the hilarious track, I Need to Be, featuring Monifa. That one starts off with an intro from Mase, who's complaining about a young girl who lied about her age. Cause as Mase says in the second verse, nowadays, man, you gotta know these bitches' age, cause they ass be real fat when they going through that phase. But it's the third verse that always cracks me up the most, cause he starts spitting all of these graphic sexual bars, and he says that he likes it when a girl licks ice down his butt cheeks, and it makes him giggle. And no, I'm not making that up. Mase giggles when girls put ice cubes in his butt. Mase likes ice in his asshole. But in spite of that weirdness of putting ice in his butt, I really like this whole album, man, and I can listen to it from start to finish. And I have to admit that a lot of that has to do with the nostalgic factor, but I mean, almost 20 years later, I still think these songs sound good. Mase's content isn't really on anything too crazy, it's mostly just on that thug shit and flossy shit, but from the smooth, bouncy opening track, Do You Wanna Get Money, all the way to the last track, Jealous Guys, I just really enjoy this album, especially Jealous Guys. That's the song where Puff Daddy, Mase, and 112 rework that old Another Bad Creation song, Jealous Girls. And they put their own spin on it, and it's kind of funny and catchy. I can just still sing the whole thing word for word, and it makes me laugh every time. But other than that, the only songs I didn't touch on, other than some intros and interludes, is the song Do You Wanna Hurt Mase? And to me, that just sounds like an old 50 Cent song, which is weird since 50 Cent really blew up after Mase, but maybe he was inspired by Mase. I'm not sure exactly, but when I listen to this song, it sounds like some old 50 Cent shit. But that's just what I thought about this album. As usual, hit me up in the comments section and let me know what you boys and girls think. Do you like this album? Do you think it's a classic? Are you into it at all? And as usual, do all that other good YouTube and social media stuff, where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and you especially subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.